That's a dominant fourth quarter for you guys, and you had multiple contributions in that quarter. What stood out to you?
Yeah, Matt, I thought, we did a really good job coming out of the half, kind of course correcting. I thought the second quarter really hurt us. We played such a good first quarter. I really liked the way we were playing, on both ends. They're obviously explosive with their scoring. But I thought we just got better and better as that second half went on. And, obviously we made a couple of key shots and got some stops that were able to break open the game. I thought Ayo came in and gave us really good minutes. I thought that second unit, to be quite honest with you, did a really, really good job until we got back Vooch and Zach back in the game. But that second unit really, really played well, high energy, got stops, got out in transition, shared the ball, just did a lot of really good things together.
Stretch, speaking of the second unit, Caruso was really making life difficult for Harden. I mean, there was times where James couldn't even get the ball across half court, it looked like.
Yeah, I mean, I thought everybody defensively, Kevin, I mentioned this before, so hard because he can shoot over you. It doesn't really make a lot of difference. What you do, it's just a matter of whether or not he misses or makes. Same thing with James, when those guys get separation, it's hard. But we just, I thought our guys gave great effort. We helped when we needed to. I thought Alex, Lonzo, Ayo, when they were on him, it worked as hard as they could, on him. And, fought over screens. And in the beginning of the game, they were slipping out of screens. And then, Brown in particular and Griffin were really, setting hard screens. And I give our guys a lot of credit. They battled to get over top and get back on the ball.
Vooch making the shots he did in the fourth after it looked like kind of more of the same shooting wise earlier in the game, and he had the block late too. How much can that be a spark for him kind of moving forward as you guys are looking to pull him out of?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I thought in that third quarter he had some really, really good opportunities. He missed that dunk, had a couple of plays, that he was inside. He just missed that he normally made. I really respected the way he kept himself in the game, all the way through. And when he came back in that fourth quarter, he made a big three. And to your point, he got a block and made a couple other shots, did a couple other things. But, he's a team guy, Vooch. And I said this before, he'll work through, the way he shot the ball. And who knows, maybe the end of that game where he got a couple pick and pops on the baseline, was able to make a couple of those shots. Maybe that can give him some momentum going forward. But, I just appreciated with the way he shot the ball, the way he's kept himself in the game and has kind of tried to help our team in other ways. He did a good job playing in the pocket. He made some really, really good decisions. He generated a lot of shots for some other guys, which was good to see. So, he'll be fine. I think he's, still obviously finding his way with all these new guys. But, like I said, I think he, besides, making some shots there in the fourth, I thought he played well, in the second half.
You guys didn't have a whole lot of assists, I think, in that first half, and really start to pile them up in the second half. Just kind of what do you think was the adjustment?
Yeah, I really like. I think we had 3 or 4 assists in the first quarter. Maybe it was 2 in the second. I think when I looked down the stat sheet, and it was fine because I really thought we were playing with good pace. We were playing with good force and thrust down the floor. We were getting in the paint. We were driving it, and sometimes it's hard to get assists on drives like that. Like DeMar got downhill, Zach got downhill. We had guys coming downhill, which is what you wanted. But that second quarter was tough, and I changed rotation a little just to look at something a little bit different. I tried to bring Vooch back in with DeMar there in that second unit. And not that there was anything wrong with it, but that second quarter, I think we just didn't really play particularly well, maybe the end of the first and going in, and then it kind of bled into the rest of the quarter. And we were probably fortunate, to only be down 6, but I think because maybe we were up 8 after that first quarter, we were able to kind of not dig ourselves too much of a hole. But I thought that take out that second quarter, I thought we did some good things for 3 quarters. That second quarter was what kind of, to be honest with you, it's what we did for long stretches against Philly a couple of times, and I think those guys in the locker room at halftime realized that's not going to be the formula for us, to be successful. And we had 6 guys in double figures. We moved the ball. It wasn't just DeMar, Zach, and Vooch. Other guys got involved, and I think you're going to have to be able to do that.
Like you guys were sort of passing and spreading the ball around without overpassing, maybe some of the other games.
And maybe a little bit. I didn't think that we were organized enough and got into offense quick enough and well enough to spots. And generally, when you don't start a possession well, it doesn't end very well. And we didn't really give ourselves a chance. The first quarter was fine with the assist. I think the second quarter, we got so stagnant watching. And I thought, to your point, that second half, I think we had maybe 16 assists where we moved and shared the ball. And not that we didn't share the ball, but we were cutting and helping each other where guys had options to either drive it or kick it to somebody else.
You've been very complimentary of Ayo. What is the difference between him and preseason through his first 10 games?
I don't think there's really been anything different. I mean, he's had obviously a learning curve, coming into the NBA, I think like any player does. He's really, really good off the dribble. He's really good driving to the basket. To me, it's all about his makeup. To me, it's like, it says, you can watch a guy play for 10 minutes. You can figure out if he could play or not. It takes a long time to figure out a guy that's got like kind of like that it factor. He's got the it factor. He's got that. And what I mean by that is he's going to impact the game. He's going to influence the game. And he's got a great drive. He's incredibly motivated. I said he really balances really well that line of being confident, but not coming across arrogant. He's incredibly humble and incredibly confident. If you can have those two things, he's a fearless competitor. And I think that kind of mindset, is going to serve him well going forward. He can't lose that because to me, that's got to be his identity.
Progressing on the court. Are you seeing him pick up some of the subtleties
in the
game?
He's because he asks questions and he works at it, and listen, coming into training camp, I said this, just watching the team play, I thought Troy was playing really, really well. He did a really nice job, wanted to kind of go with him that early stretch, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 games, whatever it was. And I thought Ayo came in and gave us some, really good minutes. Whenever we made the change to kind of give him some more minutes, he's done a really nice job with it. But he had some mistakes today. He had that, that 3 probably was a little bit too quick, on the break. He had one where he tried to drive it and he bounced it off the guy's foot. But I rather have that kind of aggressiveness out of a player, rather than having somebody that's a little bit timid. But he's got belief. But he knocked down a big 3, drives to the basket. He gets he just makes things happen. And when he plays, the only thing he's focused on is trying to win. Like that's the kind of competitor is. Whether he scores 2 points, no points, doesn't take a shot, he's going to try to impact winning. And like I said to you guys a couple of weeks ago, I saw many times in training camp where he's on that second unit and they're playing against the first unit and he's making game-winning shots to close games out, and it just speaks to, he's not, the moment's not too big for him, and I admire that about him. And he's got a lot of great qualities. He's got a lot to learn, but he'll get better and he'll learn. And he is picking up things and he is progressing very well because of his eagerness to ask questions.
DeMar, it's just taking probably more threes than I anticipated, just kind of from, here from afar. Is there, it's kind of what goes into him, like as far as when he decides, I know it's like not a huge part of his game.
I love his balance, to be honest with you, because what's happening sometimes is, everybody's trying to take away a lot of his mid-range. So what they're doing is they're trying to go under on screens to kind of catch him on the other side. So he can't get to those spots instead of chasing him over the top. But what's happening is off the ball sometimes when people are off him a little bit, providing help on Zach or Vooch, when we spray it to him, I think he's taking the right ones. He's taking those catch and shoot ones. And obviously he made a big one out of the corner tonight. He made a big one, in Boston. I think he's taken the right amount. Analytically, when you look at him, for all the non-paint twos that he takes and gets to his spots, he gets fouled a lot in that area as well, right? So it kind of all kind of balanced itself out. But he's also mixing up, knowing that, hey, listen, I got to take some of these threes to kind of pull guys out on me so I can put it on the floor and get to different spots that I like getting to. Okay, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yep.